And we are recording. Um, yeah, last time on the Dragon of Icespire Peak, y'all had reached the Dragon Barrow. And you all had decided to take a rest there. You were a little on edge, a little jumpy, but the night passed seemingly without incident. Um, in the morning, you got ready to explore the Dragon Barrow when a centaur came and greeted you. Revealed his name was Xanth and that he lived in the area around the Circle of Thunder, and knew of the Dryad within the center of the tree. Um, you talked with him for a bit. He agreed to help you with your talks with the druids potentially, as well as you gave him a sending stone. Uh, and then you all went into the Dragon Barrow, where you discovered there were wisps, some traps, a blade without a hilt, and something guarding the blade. And we ended with you all figuring out what you wanted. Hmm? There we go. Thank you for remembering that. But we ended with you all deciding what you wanted to do with this situation after Papyrus was murdered. Yeah. Live out the rest of their minutes. Um, I believe we ended with Helu peering around the corner and watching the blade slowly drift back to its position on the dragon skull. On the skull of Azdraka. Run manually. You all are just easy enough to hop over the trap now that you know where it is. You all are just walking in. All right. Mm-hmm. Back from right here. Okay. All right. You pick up the blade. I'll allow it. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, give me just a second. Oh wow, rude, I see how it is. Alright. Yeah, you cast a spell on yourself before you pick up the blade with the hilt in hand. And you go to reconnect them, and you can, and they do lock together, like they're a perfect fit. Um, you can add to your inventory a Dragon Slayer longsword. However, so you cast Sanctuary on yourself, or Okay, let me... Okay, wow, this thing is... Yeah, Area of Effect, I believe, bypasses it. But this isn't an Area of Effect. So make a DC 15 Wisdom save? Is it for each attack or just for... Okay, so it's each time it looks like. Oh yeah, the warded creature makes an attack or deals damage to the creature. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, first let's make a wisdom save. Succeeds on the wisdom save. What is your AC? 18. Okay. Actually, it looks like it's each attack against the creature. It's when the warded creature makes an attack, casts a spell, or deals damage. Yeah. Yep. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. So it's just for one round, protect this person, or until they decide to take action. So your AC is an 18. The first attack misses. The second attack, they pass the wisdom save. And hits on the attack. It's okay. It's okay. Didn't do a lot of damage. But what happens, what you feel, Sedge, is that you lift the completed blade up, looking at it, before there's a whoosh of air, like you feel a rush of air, and you instinctively sidestep to feel like an impact on the earth next to you, before there is a slam on your chest of something hitting you invisible. But something punching you forcefully. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need everyone to roll initiative. Sedge 12, 12, Marcus 16, and then the creature. You guys are not terribly happy with me today. Very interesting. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. First in the order. First in the order is Hellu. Hellu, what you watch is like Sedge pick up the sword, like looks like dodges something before getting like before stumbling back. Looks like they just got punched in the chest. You can't see it. It is invisible. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So you move where exactly? No. Lumped in the chest. You're gonna designate a square. Okay. Make an attack roll. You swing and feel nothing. For the sake of brevity, you swing. There is nothing. End of your turn. It is Marcus's turn. You can talk. You can shout something. Nothing. There is nothing there. All right. You hold that action. At the end of your turn, it'll be the creature's turn. What is it gonna do? You wish. It is going to make. It is going to make 2 attacks against Sedge as best as it can. So the Wisdom save. First attack is a failure. Second attack, Wisdom is a success. Then 2 actually hit. That is a hit. That's 13 points of bludgeoning damage, as you just feel, like in your back, a slam. The kind of slam that leaves you, like, gasping for breath. Oh no. Alright, end of creature's turn, it is Lycan's turn. Like, Sedge will, The thing is that it looks like Sedge took an attack from the front, and then suddenly from the behind. So it looks like this creature is shifting around a lot. Um, yeah, it looked like it. Alright, where are you centering it? We that is 20 feet there. Okay. Um, so is the deck save? What's the DC? 13. Sedge and Halu, you will also need to make those deck saves. 15. Alright. Deck save. That I believe is success. And the creature. The creature fails just barely. And you watch as there's an explosion of this light, misty green light that settles over the whole corner. Sedge ends up covered in an outline in this faintly glowing light. Halu, you manage to dodge most of it. But you watch, in a space where there wasn't anything before, is this vague outline of a creature that you can't really tell what it is. It's not even humanoid. It's just vague, amorphous shape. All right. All right. Uh, yes, your thing goes off. Go ahead and make your 2 attacks. Not gonna waste any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. That'll hit. That'll hit. Okay. All right. So nice. Yeah, this thing like appearing now out of the fairy fire. You launch your Eldritch Blast quick as you can, and you watch as it just shoots through its form, and you can see like holes form, and then quickly fill in. But it did look like it took the damage at least. Yeah, it like hit it, and like had created these holes in it in its form that are quickly sort of filling itself in, but it did still take the damage. Uh, that I believe is your turn. Your held action. Um, and after that, it is Sedge's turn. Mm-hmm. All right. Where? Where are you moving to? you, you take the sword, feeling like you got the air punched out of your lungs as you're booking it. Sweetie, you look sleepy. Yeah. Not a free action, but that can happen on your. You do still have a bonus action left though. Is it? I'm not gonna be that strict, especially with just handing an object off, especially if it looks like Sedge is gonna push into like in space to go by her. That's quick enough to just like put it in her sword and go. Uh, end end of Sedge's turn. It is Helen's turn. Nice. That's no one. Good to know. Yeah, make your attacks. Yep. Both hit. Total. Okay. You swing with your halberd once, twice, feeling the blade pass through, feeling a slight resistance now that you know that what you're looking at. Um, but you feel as if you didn't do as much damage as you should have. All right. Is that your turn? All right. End of your turn is Marcus's turn. Um, if Lycan wanted to, Yeah, alright. Yep. Okay, so you want to use your movement to get to Lycan. Um, okay, yeah. Yeah. You could just snatch it out of her hands, I think, without. Alright. Mm-hmm. No, in order for her to step into that 5 feet, she'd be stepping out of the creature's range, which would occur. Yeah, if you want to use your action, you'd be giving up your attack. Yeah, alright. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, for your action, you slide it under her legs, and then on Helu's turn, she'll kick it up. Alright. Put in a Dragon Slayer longsword. I believe, yeah, Dragon Slayers aren't attuned weapons, thankfully. Just because of their really simple enchantment. They're hyper specific, super. Anyways, um, yeah, it's a hyper specific enchantment in which you fuck up a dragon. Yeah. Um, End of Marcus's turn. It is the creature's turn, and it will smack Helu. Yep. First attack is a hit. Second attack is a hit. So let's see that. Okay. Wait a second. 20 points of bludgeoning reduced to 10. As this thing just like you see it coming now with the fairy fire, so you just like brace yourself and feel the slams as it just kind of punches you around. You're lucky these creatures' attacks aren't considered magical for some reason. End of the creature's turn. It is Lycan's turn. What is Spirit Shroud? I can pull up the spell. Any attacks you deal. Okay, any attacks you make deal extra d8 damage. 8 of you. Okay, cool. Real quickly, I want to point out. Really quick before I want to point out, Spirit Shroud is concentration. Fairy Fire is also concentration. Are you keeping Spirit Shroud or are you keeping Fairy Fire? All right. All right. All right. Yeah. Make your attack rolls. Yeah, those both hit. Nice. Yeah. Now you can see as best you can with Fairy Fire on it as it takes a 2 Eldritch Blast damage. Its form starts like before it was amorphous. It's even worse now. It's like ragged at the edges from what you can see in the Fairy Fire. But it took the damage. Doesn't seem happy about it. You can make an Arcana check. 13. Best you can get based on the fact that there is no like solid shape to it, and the way it's attacking, is it's probably some kind of elemental of some kind. So a creature loosely. I was gonna say new gender dropped. But end of Lycan's turn. It is Sedge's turn. Okay. You are. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're running, and as Marcus like pushes past you to grab the sword and turns around to go, you turn and just slap him on the back with Sanctuary. You have lay on hands. All right. All right. End of your turn. We're back at the top of the order with Hello. Mm-hmm. Ooh, like you like you just slam your glaive. Yeah, stab your glaive into the ground. Uh, yeah, make an attack roll. Yeah, that hits. That hits. Nice. Good choice. Good choice. 32. Yeah. This time this time there's almost a difference in the way when you hold your halberd to the sword and that you can feel the zap of magic. So when you swing, you stab your glaive down, have the sword flip up, catch it, and then just like batter up this thing. You can feel it slice almost clean through. This thing you watch as its form gets more and more ragged in the wake of this attack. It is still standing, not by much. But because you hit with a magical weapon, I did the full damage. All right. End of your turn. It is Marcus's turn. Yes. Oh. Yeah, those will hit. Just, uh, you don't double the modifier, just the dice. How do you want to do this? No. No. Yeah, Helu, like, in her attack, had spun using her fancy footwork to get around to the other side of it, as it seemed to twist around to meet her, and as it does, you just launch these two Eldritch Blasts right through. Right as you could see, like, two things of air, I guess, go to attack her. Um, you hit it, and watch as it just scatters into air. And we are out of initiative. Good job taking care of the invisible stalker. Oh yeah. There's still yeah, there's still still blood in his lungs. So please and thank you. Oh, ow. Oh. What a smell. Yeah, I think Lycan gave you HP back. Yeah. Yeah. There are there are the other pathways that you didn't explore. You take the lead, nice. Um, okay. Yeah, I can. So which way are you going first? There's east, west, and south. Going east. Yeah, east, oh wait, no, sorry, that's west, my bad. Yeah, you wander into the east chamber, which, let me pull up the notes for this. But you, you follow the tunnels into this, room, which you can see opens up. There's no like with the javelin, you know, smacking the ground, checking for traps. There's no traps along this path. Uh, nothing like the pit trap that you saw. Um, and again, this whole place is packed earth, the walls, the floor, the ceiling, but it is very narrow. But you step into this room, and it opens up a bit to see two alcoves on either side of the room with sarcophagi nestled within. You can also see a narrow crack in the wall on one side. Yeah, you peer into it. It looks to be a very narrow, like tunnel, only 2 feet wide at most. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, you can walk in there. Wait. Are you actually going into the tunnel? All right. Yeah. Is there anything you're doing as you're going through? Yeah, make a perception check. 16. Um, yeah, as you're going along, you're kind of like sidling along as best you can. It is very narrow in here, so you have to walk along your side. Um, I imagine you're using like a foot as like a testing the ground kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. You use your sword and you trek along, and about halfway through, you find it feels weird. You can't really see it because of the narrow tool, but you feel your sword catch on something halfway through. Um, you like tap around and yeah, it feels like a pressure plate. How are you investigating it in this 2 feet wide tunnel? Not not in a 2 feet wide tunnel. Yeah, make an investigation check. Yeah, make an investigation check. 19. Yeah, you the best you can looking at the pressure plate, crouching down as best you can to look at it and look at the walls. You can see that uh, just on the edge, like there's a very small gap where you can see it looks like ropes or wire of some kind go out from the pressure plate and into the walls. They're in the ground, mostly buried, but you kind of like you find a little gap and like you dig it out a little bit and you see a little wire, and then you dig a little bit more and you notice they have like hooks, in them. They look like they're hooking into the dirt as they go in. Mm, that's all you see, pretty much. Uh, yeah. As best you can, it's kind of hard. Um, you can make an athletics or acrobatics check. 17. Um, Yeah, with a bit of a shimmy and a like careful placement of your feet, you are able to move over the pressure plate, um, best you can. It is a 5 foot long pressure plate, so it kind of requires like shimmying along the wall, latching onto it, spider climbing over it. It looks like that was the only one as you continue tapping around, and you are able to get through the rest of the tunnel and pop out on the other side. But in this room, you step in and you can see the bones and rotting saddle of a horse lying in the southern niche of this cave. You walk up to the horse. Yeah, you approach it, and as you get within 5 feet of it, the bones start rattling before they rise, knit together, and form a skeletal horse. And it just stands before you and looks down at you. It gives a ghostly nicker. Yeah, you walk up, you hold your hand out, and the horse bumps into your hand. It's a rotting saddle, but yeah, that's a saddle. No, it didn't talk back. The horse does not fight you, and lets you hop up on its back. And in fact does a little like trot dance in place once you're on its back. Congratulations, you have a skeletal riding horse. Yeah, looks like it. And the horse does do a little hop over this area right here. Looks like the horse thought it was. As you move out into the hallway, the rest of you are still in the other room. Like you saw Marcus go in and then disappear around a bend. And you don't really. There are 2 stone sarcophagi in this room. A few minutes at this point. Yeah. You can approach the sarcophagi. They're sealed stone sarcophagus, each resting in an alcove dug into the south wall. They do, for the sake of brevity, name's not really important. You can mark, Lycan can mark them down, but they don't, yeah, personally, they have no bearing on the plot. Yeah. On a horse. On a large skeleton horse. Smoothie. Uh, the horse doesn't really have any reaction. The horse appears to be calm as you all approach. Might kind of skitter away nervously from usage, but nothing like major. It's the paladin. You wanted to see if there was a name nearby? Alright. Yeah, you can find there would have been like something on the saddle kind of carved in. It's a little hard to make out, um, but it would read Swift Heart. Oh no! Call him Swiffer. Just kind of like tilts the head a little, kind of a little nod, like the horse nod thing, pawing at the ground. What does magic awareness do again? I mean, the sword pings is magical, obviously, as well as whatever other magical items you all have on you. But you don't really get anything from the horse. It's not. It's not. It's not a spell, or is it a magic? Or is it a magic item? Oh yeah. Well, what are you doing, Sedge? The horse is undead? No. Nope. It's not evil. For for all intents and purposes, this is a riding horse, which means it's unaligned. It just happens to be undead. It does the little trot dance. This little dance again. And then kind of like turns its head to look at you like it's expecting something. It it takes it very gently from your hand, and munches. It's not terribly pleasant because you can see the food just kind of falling out of its mouth as it eats it. but but it seems pleased to have gotten a little treat. Oh boy. Oh shit, here we go again. Yup, yup. Yeah, you leave. Yeah, just kind of like, and then we'll do like the horse lay down thing where it tucks its legs under it, and then just watch as you all go. Where are you going, Hello? You I imagine Marcus calls out there is a trap there. But yeah, you wander down this hallway and you can see again the wisp on the other side. Um, it wisps aren't smart. Oh, JK, wisps are smart. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Make an attack roll. What? Sorry. What did you say? Yeah, I'll allow that. I think you can use Eldritch Blast with Spirit Shroud. Uh, that won't. 16 won't hit. Okay, yeah, that does hit. 19, in fact, just hits. Okay. Yeah. You blast it, and using the Spirit Shroud, it's just like there's like an extra layer to your Eldritch Blast as you blast it, and it hits the wisp, and you watch as it like um, starts like getting the sort of the ragged edge to it that the visible stalker did before it like goes invisible. You jump over, aware now, and I imagine one of you can easily like find it and bust the trap open. Yeah, and you watch as it collapses down. You can see the same setup of rusty swords sticking out of the ground. I hope you have your tetanus shots. But you can step into this room now, and you can see that it is where is it? Four sarcophagi, two in the north wall and two in the south wall, in this room, and no signs of the wisp. You do so, and as you go, you don't like make any contact with the wisp. There was the wisp, and there's the sarcophagi. Other than that, not really. Um, they do have like names on them and inscriptions. Um, Interestingly enough, like the inscriptions essentially are epitaphs, a bard of great repute, you know a devotee of a god. Um, Basically, from what you'd gather from the inscriptions, you can tell that there's a tube to a bard, a cleric, a fighter, and a wizard. Seems like it. Sorry? What? No, they all look roughly the same age. Yeah. You can go check out the one with the wizard. Where are you looking at it? This one's in the southeast sarcophagi, which is this one here, I believe. Probably, yeah. There doesn't look. There's nothing on the ground around it. You attempt to. You gonna open the sarcophagus? Yeah. Fantasy tetanus. Fatness. Oh yeah. Listen, I just like the meme of fantasy whatever. Fantasy Yelp. Hmm. Wasn't it Fantasy Yelp? Yeah, and there was also Fantasy Yelp in another campaign that we did. Okay. I hope everything's okay. Oh my god. No. Um, Welcome back. You open the sarcophagus, um, and the lid slides away to reveal a um, moldy bones of an adventurer with like mostly rotted away clothing. However, um, around the neck of the bones is a necklace that is still gleaming gold with little red beads hanging off of it. It is what it is. Is she? You can make an Arcana check if you'd like, with advantage. 24? You're looking at this thing, and judging by the fact that this thing is still, like, gleaming in gold, in this sarcophagus, it's definitely a magic item. And if it's on the... If it's around the neck of a wizard that died fighting a dragon, chances are it's a powerful magic item. What did you say, Zelda? Huh? Are you asking me if there was? Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Make a charisma check as you try and reach out to your father. supposed father. $19? You reach out, and you get ooh. Oh yeah. Um, sorry, what was that total? Nice. Um, 21. You don't get words back. You do get more of a feeling or a sensation, um, of just a curiosity, um, and a kind of like a why not sensation. I also believe you have identify Lycan. Right. Right, yeah. I love that I can read it. Uh, um, you you reach in, you say these words, and you unclasp the necklace, and you lift it out, and nothing happens. A very annoyed cat level of disdain. Bones, your cat is being a attention whore. uh, you just turn around. You just like turn around. You see them holding up this necklace. Uh, um, you there there was a bard, a cleric, a fighter, and a wizard. A fighter, a bard, a cleric, a wizard. Um, give me a second. The wizard is here. Um, the bard is here. Uh, the fighter is here, and the cleric is here. You open it up. Uh-huh. You crack it open, the lid falls, and you see the moldering bones, moldy bones, or wait, yeah, of an adventurer. You can see the leathers that have mostly rotted away, an old sword with that's been rusted to hell and back, but nothing of like immediate interest. Yeah, you can look around and then make an investigation check. 12. You dig around in there, and no, it doesn't look like there's anything like the necklace. So many secrets. So many. Looks like a body. Nothing weird about the body. No, no magic on it. Just an old body. Easy enough, especially with the gauntlets. Yeah. Crack open the bard. Uh, and does Marcus resist? I'm gonna take it for Trey's word as good behavior. So you open the coffin. You crack it open. You see again moldy bones. This time wearing, more leathers, but with a rapier. Um, what once might have been like colorful and nice has long since rotted away. But in its hands appears to be a lute that is as shiny and as polished as the day it was made. If you like, you can cast Identify, of course, because you can cast it ritually, or okay, yeah, you can cast it ritually without expending spell slots. Okay, fair enough. Want to make a yeah, you can make an Arcana check if you so choose. Already had advantage because of Marcus, but yeah, you look over this. Again, it must be first of all, it must be a magic item if it's in here, and if it's in the tomb of an adventurer who killed a dragon, might be a powerful one. Definitely magical though. Again, because it appears to be new and shiny despite the age of everything around it. Definitely magical. Yeah. You take it, pick it up, and nothing happens. All right. Yeah. Take a peek in the last one. This is the Clerics. You can see old rusted armor, dented in places with the symbol of their god. There's this holy symbol around their neck that is also rusted and cracked and old. Mace in one hand, but nothing like the wizard and bard's coffins. Yeah, you can. You reach in and you prestidigitate it nice and shiny. And you know what? Take a point of inspiration for that. It's a nice little that's a nice little character moment. Yeah. Fair. Fair and valid. What are y'all doing? Yeah. You can return to the central chamber. Um, yeah, it's I think a little afternoon at this point. Spend some time in there. But yeah, you all can head out of the barrow. You go back and you do find Swift Heart waiting for you. Um, uh, doesn't appear to say or do anything. Just kind of watches you. Ghostly nicker. Anytime it like makes a noise, it's like ghost like. There's a weird echo on it. I'm just gonna teleport you all outside. Yeah, exactly. And you. Porsche comes trotting up, sees Swift kind of like nervously prances back a bit. With your like gentle insistence, gently approaches Swift. Celestial horse, right? Xanth. 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 Yeah. Uh. Oh my god. Yes, Xanth is waiting for y'all. Looks up, sees you. Yeah, he looks up and sees you all leaving the barrow and like raises his hands, and then you see him pause and like look before he like gets up and starts coming over slowly and is like, uh, hello. Did you make a friend? Swifty does a little dance and then looks at you expectantly. Munches on it, looks a little displeased. As much as a skeletal horse can look displeased. Yeah. Just been. He's kind of like looking between you and the horse, confused. It's like, I've just been exploring the area, keeping an eye out. Um, I have not. Why? Right. Swifty? But giving you. There's Porsche. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. No, it doesn't wear armor, but it is a skeleton. Um, what do you mean? What do you mean as in? What do you mean as in the history of the barrel? Um, make a history check. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah, between the two of you. Sorry, what was her name again? What was the lady's name again? Tanamir. Tanamir Alagondar, as a royal scion of the Alagondar family, was known to favor her horse, her very loyal horse, Swiftheart. Um, so it takes a moment to understand the command before it does do the bow on the one knee. Before it looks at you expectantly. Swifty takes it. Again, it's the whole thing. Like you can, it's eating the apple. You can see it falling through, through the skeleton. Yeah. Oh. uh, but yeah, you all are out. Santa's looking a little weird, but he's like, okay, all right, sure, whatever the hell is going on here, it's going on. What do y'all do? Yeah. It did sound like Sedge intended to tell the story. Did you guys want to like sit for that? Uh, it's mid. It's like little afternoon. Yeah, it took you a little bit to like um find the entrance, to search the whole area to find the entrance. But overall, like searching the barrow didn't take that long. One day you'll have to deal with Blossom. Um, Xanth will speak up and goes, "Does it sound like you? It sounds like you all are planning to leave. Is that right?" Well, if you all are heading off, I should return to my home, knowing that it's clear. Unless there was something else you wanted to ask of me. I'm not comfortable going into a city of men. Um, I know Fandolin. I'm still not comfortable going there. If you all are heading that way, I should head on home. But I do, it sounds as if you do intend to head to the Fae at one point, I can help you prepare for it by answering the questions you have about them. Yes. Just that this is an opportunity to ask him now before you have to communicate over a sending stone. Yeah, you can make an intelligence check. I'd say history, but I don't think you have proficiency in history. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. 13. Let me resolve the 13. Uh, you would have heard, fairy tales. There's always fairy tales about the realm of fairy, um, in the prime material. Stories of strange, brightly colored fae, of court, of like the weird machinations of courts, and the bizarre, chaotic magic that exists there. You wouldn't know anything like concrete. Most of it to you would have been fairy tales, I think. You assume a lot of it might have been like exaggerated, probably, because I mean, come on, that kind of stuff can't really exist, can it? Yeah. But what was Sage saying? Um, I think it would have been established at one point. And generally, what I believe Sedge would know is, um, you would have read books on it. You would have read like there exist courts. You would have read a bit about the existing courts, about the difference between Seelie, Unseelie, and neutral Fae. Um, you might have read about the big names of in the Fae. Queen Titania, the Queen of the Gloaming Fae. Um, the really big names. But you'd know there are other courts that exist, um, and all that kind of stuff. Um, I yeah, okay, right. Mhm. Mhm. Um, yeah, he'd be able to tell you that vampires are vulnerable to stakes in the heart, for instance. But because vampires do exist in the Feywild, um, but they're only disabled for as long as the stake remains in their heart. Silver is truly bad for lycanthropes, um, which is ironic considering the Lord of Lycanthropes is called the Lord of Silver. Um, you can ask him about it more if you'd like, but he'll continue on. Um, yeah, he knows. He knows. You read a lot in books. You would have had to have read a lot of books, and you can find like the niche specialty books. Um, he lived in the Feywild, so he can provide more like accurate the details that the books would have missed. But you ask about iron, and he goes, I believe it specifically has to be cold wrought iron. But yes, although it's very hard to find a blacksmith willing to work with cold iron. And many of them don't want to anger the Fae. Do you ask him that? Yeah. He thinks, he goes, well, I don't know actually. It's a very specific specialty that I believe only master blacksmiths work, and while there are, I'm sure, master blacksmiths in Neverwinter, in my experience, those kind of people tend to be recluses and hermits. In some, little sanctuary they make for themselves somewhere in the countryside. Um, once maybe decades ago, but that was I couldn't tell you where. I don't remember. Uh, let me think. If it's what? Oh, a Dabragwin. It was a dwarven blacksmith. I believe I believe it was a dwarven blacksmith. I couldn't tell you where, but I believe the name was Brongem or Brongim. I'll put it in the Brongem. I think he was looking for one, yes, but hadn't found one that had met his exacting standards. I mean, those blacksmith types are not keen on letting their methods die out so easy. I can answer any other questions. Although I will admit, I myself would fall into the neutral Fae territory. I don't swear fealty to the Celia of the Gloaming Fae. Okay. They still have to pick stuff up. For example, they also use bows and swords all the time to swing down. Mm-hmm. No. Hi, kitty. Hmm. Um, I am refraining from comment. We don't know what powers. We don't know what powers Marcus gains in this timeline. This is your soul is tied to an immortal. Your soul is tied to an all powerful eldritch. The fuck, you think he's gonna let you go that easy? He's like, you gotta work there. That's fair. I am giving you all a wellspring of information about the Feywild, and none of you are biting. There are questions about Archfey you could ask, questions about like uh, the areas, about rumors and quests and stuff that he might possibly know about. Uh, that probably won't work because he's very wary about going anywhere near like a human town. Oh, yeah, you talked about this like last time, and he seemed like he would be willing to accompany you into the Feywild. Just oh, specific waters, yes. The Lake of Dreams, don't drink the water there. Um, but like the rivers and stuff, there's unless there's like obvious signs that it's magical, should be fine. Um, There are shapeshifters. Yes, some of them are, of course, less savory than others. The ones I know are there's a wandering band of changelings, a nomadic tribe of changelings that wander the plains. Then there's of course a whole community of lycanthropes. The cities where you're going to have that problem are Astrazalian, very glamorous city, um, mostly obviously caters to people who come from the prime material, and then also Sheena Lestra, which is like it shifts between the prime material and the Feywild nightly, but it a lot of people go for the novelty of that, but it appears randomly in the prime material anywhere in the world. Um, Obviously, be careful of wording. The Fae are very particular about that. Don't ask people for their names. Like, don't ask for their names. Um, Ask what you can call them. Uh, that's towing a line. Um, right. Ask what you can call someone. Uh, Instead of asking for their name or what is their name. Uh, you can, but if you run into a situation where you need to make you can use a fake name, but if you run into a situation where you need to make a deal with the Fae, um, I'd be wary about that. They get testy if you aren't using your real name. Otherwise, you could come across as disingenuous and trying to pull one over on them. Um, just watch out for loopholes that you'd hide. The Gloaming and the Seelie Fae are both equally tricky. Um, and many neutral Fae. Stay out of the Mercantile if I were you. Many hags live in there. Uh, Otherwise, beware that anything is on the table, from the color of your eyes to um, your most treasured possession, uh, that sort of thing. I'll make you what? Sorry. Oh, that's higher levels. That is higher level stuff. Many archfays have that ability. The King of Dragonflies has power over dreams to an extent, um, as well as many just powerful fae. Just be careful where you are. from your mouth. Let's see here. The Queen of Air and Darkness, of course, which even saying her name on the prime material is a hazard. The Gloaming Queen, of course, the Summer Queen. The White Lady is one, though she tends to be more benevolent than the others. What else? There are others that, of course, that are aware when you speak their names, but aren't prone to do anything about it. The Lord of Silver is one, as is the Prince of Frost. Just so long as you don't, make them angry, they won't come for you. The White Lady is one of those, actually. As is the one known as the Night Hearth. The Night Hearth is very much willing to guide those who are lost in the woods out, if you invoke them. Beyond that, there's another one associated with the moon that I can't recall the name of, but no one really knows that much about her, but she seems to be helpful where she can be. Yeah, make a history check, and I'll allow advantage because it's Fey-based. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 29's still pretty good. It's enough at least to recall the name, which is, the formal name is the Moon Speaker. You can add the D4 if you'd like. This is not so much a failure as it is like a tiered success kind of thing. If you had rolled like a 20, it might be able to give you more details about her without giving her a name. 25, you get the name and the details. 30 might get you like a lot more. It's kind of a tiered success thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on the 33, yeah, this is part of actually recent history for the quote unquote recent for Feywild, which is that some centuries ago there was a big war, what have you, and so the archery known as the White Lady is thought to be essentially the moon. And she had a daughter known as the Maiden of the Moon, but the Maiden of the Moon attempted to overthrow the Summer Court in a failed coup, which resulted in her death. And the archmage that replaced her was someone known as the Moon Speaker. Very little is known about, other than it's thought that she is like a peerless weaver, able to weave moonlight itself, kind of thing. Um, you know that she belongs to a court known as the Silver Court. No one really knows where she came from or what her deal is, um, just that she was the replacement to the Maiden of the Moon. The White Lady. Yes. Um, that the stories with the 33, I'll continue that with the 33. It's a little unclear, but the stories in the Feywild read that uh, there's something known as the White Well, which is a like perfectly circular pool of water that just sort of appears um, at random to travelers when they need it most, and it is a once in a lifetime thing, which is saying a lot for the Fae. Um, but it seems to happen to those who like need it the most in their lives. Those who might uh, pray to the moon or um, offer gifts of all sorts of sentimental value to the moon uh, seem more likely to a lot, whole fairy tale business where in the fairy tales people find the white well after following the moon, for instance, like traveling in the direction of the moon, or praying to the moon, or offering sacrifices of sentimental value, sort of thing. That's what the fairy tales say, at least. Mm-hmm. Um, Specifically to the White Lady. Yeah. Um, for the White Lady in particular, elks. So interestingly enough, um, and that's believed to be tied in with the archfey known as the Night Hearth. As the Night Hearth was an archfey blessed with the White Lady's power, and is thought to be essentially an elk centaur. Um, so elks are usually no goes for tricksters, um, twofold, um, and then ironically enough, coyotes. Uh, the or like coyotes or wolves kind of thing. The Lord of Silver tends to get very testy about tricksters using coyotes and wolves uh, to lead people astray. Yeah. Um, there is, and like Xanth can also help answer this question as well. Um, there is specifically territory set aside for the lycanthropes. Sort of a one hard one. In 2 wars now, they've had to fight for this home, um, known as Brokenstone Vale, where lycanthropes can run free without issue, and there is specifically a town for those that wish to live more human lives, um, and that is where a lot of lycanthropes that live more closer to human lives live. But that whole area is designated for lycanthropes. That is the lycanthrope community he's referring to, um, kind of thing. And that whole area is thought to be the Lord of Silver's territory. You are muted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would be there are a ton of stories about that. That's one of the most numerous stories about the Feywild is those who wander in only to wander out 200 years later when to them it felt like a year at most. Um, that is a very like one of the big things they warn people about going to the Fae is like, hey, this could happen. Uh, a boon from an archfey will do it. A spell uh A spell equivalent to Greater Restoration usually can restore the memories lost after the fact, um, or have Fey heritage. Yeah, that would be another common fairy tale. Oh, Xanth gets very serious and goes, "Yes, they can, and many Fae will, and that is not limited to Archfey. Yes, if a Fae, if a Fae asks, 'May I have your name?' do not give it to them. Say instead, 'You may call me.'" Again, they take things very literally there. When they say, "May I have your name?" they're literally asking to take your name. No, no, I don't do that. I do not have that power. I myself haven't been to the theater, but I know it exists, and I try to avoid it when possible. The stories that come from the theater are strange and fantastic, and also sometimes terrifying. As is all things with the Fae. Yes, this is true. Yeah, that's Appalachia. Um, yeah, it's yes. Do not wander off the path, beaten path. And if you hear your name, unless you know and unless you see someone's mouth moving when they say it, don't trust your senses. Which is fun because this is a party full of people that like to speak psychically to each other. You have to send. I have the sending stone you gave me. He laughs and he goes, "You're welcome. Don't do that in the Feywild." Thank you imply yeah, thank you implies that you owe them. Um, you can tell them that you appreciate something, but thank you implies that you owe them. And one last thing. Do not accept gifts that are not freely given. Uh, Usually they'll say, "I give this to you freely," sort of thing. But if you accept a gift that is not freely given, you owe them. Hmm? Uh, I actually don't know. I think in that case, I'd say like if you contradict yourself, it would essentially render what you said null and void. If that makes sense. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really excited for you to see what I have set up in the Feywild, but also, it's a fucking scary place, dudes. Alright, you all finish up your questions for Xanth, I'm assuming? And you turn to head out? Alright. Before that happens, you all, start getting ready to leave. Xanth, does a bow, and turns to leave. Um, before the grass on the other side, from the edge of the barrow, comes two crossbow bolts, and Marcus. Marcus. Ooh. Um, you didn't see it coming. You take 15 points of piercing damage as two crossbow bolts lodge in your chest. And there is a shout. They aren't actually like this close. I just have a hard time putting them on the map otherwise. Come a small army of bandits. I should make them back here. One of them shouting, pointing at Marcus, "Take him." And that is where we'll end it. Nope. Hmm? I'd say no. Uh, yeah, I'd say you'd be allowed to, like, take the time to identify the items at least. A lute of illusions and a necklace of fireball. I believe it's a full thing. Let me check. Yeah, it does not say that it has less charges. So hold on. Actually, let me roll for it because I forgot that you need a roll for the number of beads. Okay, 8 beads. Not the full 9, just 8 beads. Not much. When you're playing this musical instrument, you create harmless, illusory visual effects within a 5-foot radius sphere centered on the instrument. If you are a bard, the radius increases to 15 feet. These include luminous musical notes, a spectral dancer, butterflies, gently falling snow, etc. These effects have neither substance nor sound, and they are obviously illusory. The effects end when you stop playing. But yeah. As we deal with the... No, it does not. Yeah, next week we'll deal with the bounty hunter encounter. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording.